What it do, everybody? This is Junior Zamrone coming at you from Ukiah, California for another edition of Baseball, Bobbleheads, and Brews. On today's show, pitchers and catcher have reported. That means baseball's back. Then we're going to be talking about an All-Star Bobblehead. And finally, a brew that I brought back from our time at Walt Disney World. Let's turn on the hot stove and see what's going on in MLB. Pitchers and catchers have reported to Arizona and Florida respectively, which means the Cactus League and the Grapefruit League are going to see some new faces. What sort of started as a quiet off-season, the hot stove ignited and unfortunately saw my Oakland A's letting go our all-star closer Liam Hendriks to the Chicago White Sox, the team that the A's knocked out of the playoffs. Then Marcus Semien, our MVP candidate, now calls Toronto home. Then Crush Davis, our designated hitter, has now been traded to the Texas Rangers for Elvis Andrus. Don't worry, the A's did add veteran reliever Sergio Romo. Wait a minute. Elvis Andrus and Sergio Romo? That's it? Son of a... The major names changing places include the Platinum Glove sensation Nolan Arenado being traded from the Colorado Rockies to the St. Louis Cardinals. Then you have the cheating George Springer being shipped off to Canada, and you know I'm not going to miss him. Then you have the San Diego Padres trying to keep up with the reigning World Series champion Dodgers by adding Blake Snell. Now, we might remember Snell being removed from the deciding World Series game by the Tampa Bay Rays manager Kevin Cash when he was wheeling and dealing. Then you have the reigning NL East champion Atlanta Braves adding Charlie Morton. A surprising move saw the Cleveland Indians trade away their franchise player Francisco Mr. Smiles Lindor to the bright lights of NYC and the Mets. But all that fails in comparison to the addition of the reigning NL Cy Young Award winning Trevor Bauer to the Dodgers. They are stacked and ready to repeat. The 2021 season is going to be another unique season for MLB. Especially, some stadiums are going to allow fans in while some may not. Which means home field advantage may or may not have an effect on the way the season's going to play out. Which means that any team can beat anyone at any given time. That means, more than ever, great pitching, timely hitting, and great plays when you need them most are super important. Especially, we don't know how the MLB playoff format's going to play out this season yet. Are we going to revert it back to the 10-team playoffs from seasons past? Or are we going to dial up the 16-team format from 2020? From what I've been looking at online, it seems that MLB is going to propose a 14-team playoff format, giving you 3 division winners and 4 wild cards for each league. Only time will tell what the playoff format will be, but MLB, the clock's ticking. And opening day is right around the corner. So we'll have to wait and see. Coming out the hot stove season, it seems that the World Series matchup might be the Toronto Blue Jays versus the reigning champion Los Angeles Dodgers. But don't sleep on the additions of the San Diego Padres or the Atlanta Braves. Don't even count out the New York Mets with Lindor and Cookie Carrasco. But maybe, just maybe, we'll get a surprise winner from maybe even the Baltimore Orioles, who were given a 0% chance of making the playoffs. That's the beautiful thing about baseball. You never know which team is going to nut up and actually hoist the World Series trophy. This week's bobblehead comes from the Florida Marlins, now known as the Miami Marlins, and it's out of my trophy and award sub-collection. It's the 1995 All-Star Game MVP Jeff Conine bobblehead. It was given away in 2003 to 10,000 fans in attendance, and it's made by Matchup Sportswear and Promotion. To me, an unknown bobblehead manufacturer in the bobblehead game. The bobblehead base is really unique as it's the outline of a baseball diamond itself. That means from foul pole to foul pole, it's 7.5 inches wide and it stands at 8 inches tall. The lettering and the logos are raised, but they're not spectacular like what you would see from AGP. The paint is sloppy and flat, especially around the lettering and in the logo. I believe this bobblehead is made of resin, but it could also be made of clay because you sort of see lines on the side of the bobblehead. The only thing that's really good about this bobblehead is the fact that it has the old teal color from the inaugural jersey set of the Florida Marlins. I do also like the All-Star Game MVP trophy. It's way better done this way than the current crystal bat version being used. I hope that MLB teams going forward will dip back into the history books and look at really cool pictures like these and convert them into more trophy and award bobbleheads to add to my collection. Because this one right here is a star in my collection, and if you like those holding trophies and award like me, you definitely have to add this bad boy. Comes from my time spent out in Walt Disney World, and it's from 26 Degree Brewing Company out of Pompano, Florida. They were founded in 2014 and they claim to have some of the best craft beers in all of Florida. That's something that they back up with multiple medals won from the U.S. Beer Open Championship, including their Imperial Stout, Pale Ale, and New England IPA. They have a well-rounded selection of beers that covers the entire spectrum, which basically means they have a little bit of everything for everyone. I selected their Just Call Me Margarita Ghost. Now a Ghost is a sour / fermented beer that originated in Goslar, Germany. It's a grain-forward brew mainly using malted wheat. It also has a salty reputation because of the water source that's used or by adding salt. Now it's a part of the sour family, which also includes the Belgian-style Witbriers, Weissens, and Brouillon, which is an extinct German-style pale malted wine. Now, when I was looking for tequila beers, when we were doing our Hispanic Heritage episode, I couldn't find anything. So when I came across this one out in Florida, I had to jump in on it and bring it back here to sunny Northern California. It comes in at 6.1% alcohol by volume, and on the can, it actually gives you the recipe: tequila, beer, ice. So let's get this bad boy on the rocks and see what's up. I'm getting a slightly sweet aroma with a little bit of lime, and if you know me, I really don't like lime when it comes to my beers and my shots of tequila. It has a hazy style pour with a mild head. It seems like it's slightly carbonated, but it's not overpowering. Oh, right off the bat, I get the salt. And then it gives you that little acid bite that makes you pucker, but it fades away and finishes nice and crisp. It sort of reminds me of one of those Corona Ritas that you would get at like Applebee's, Chevy's, or one of my favorite places, Joe's Crab Shack. Now, I'm not picking up a lot of the tequila in it, and I think that's probably for a reason. There's a tequila beer out there called Oculto that I've been trying to track down. And I heard a story while I was out in Florida at the ABC Wine and Liquor where the beer got taken off the market because it was 11%. Basically, it was beer with a lot of tequila in it. And that sounds wonderful to me. This right here does give you the sweetness of the agave, something that I remember from Dos Equis Azul. Dos Equis, if you're listening to this, bring that beer back because it was spectacular. Now, what this beer represents to me is something that's refreshing and light, but it needs a little bit more kick from the wheat or the tequila, like Emeril Lagasse would say, to kick it up a notch. It's still a really good beer, but I would like to see maybe even a tropical fruit like mango make an appearance, because that's what I had at the Joe's Crab Shack, a really good mango coronarita, and this just sends me back to like a Taco Tuesday night. It's really crisp, really refreshing, and for a person like me that doesn't really like sours, it's one of those that I'll get down on again. So I encourage everybody out there to try to find this beer, or if you're in Florida, take an advantage and enjoy this on a hot summer day out on the beach of Daytona. Now I'm going to link you up with 26 Degree Brewing Company. That way you can find the Margarita Ghost at a location near you or pick up any of their brewery swag. I'm also going to drop a link in the description for ABC Fine Wine and Spirit. That way you can track down some wonderful brews out in Florida or even some really good wine. I want to thank everybody for their continued support. We are currently at 85 subscribers, and I really want to get us to 100 subscribers. That way, I can give away a $25 Buffalo Wild Wing gift card and a few pint glasses. So don't forget to hit the like button and subscribe, and we'll see you next time on Baseball, Bobbleheads, and Brews.